Hello, this is Bible Discussions, and today we're going to be talking about the truth behind 666, otherwise known as Mark of the Beast. We're going to go through a little bit of Bible scripture and show you that there's nothing to worry about 666 just yet. So let's get into the scripture that has caused everyone to get excited. It comes from Revelations 13. It says, "It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is 666. So, the words that pop out to me are all people, buy or sell, calls for wisdom, and of course 666. So what I ask myself is, where else in the Bible is there the number 666? And this is quite easy to do now that we've digitalized the Bible. So it was quite easy to do a search, say, where else does 666 come from? Well, yeah, where else is 666? And what we see is that in Chronicles, 2 Chronicles chapter 9, it says, "The weight of the gold that Solomon received yearly was 666 talents." Now, I think there is a link between Chronicles and Revelations. Why? Because of the number 666. But it's not just the number, because look at this. If we go back, let's look at the word, it forced all people. Okay, so that they could not buy or sell. And then it says something about wisdom, insight, and calculating. So let's see what these two chapters or two verses of the Bible have in common. They could not buy or sell, and the weight of gold that Solomon received. Now, what Solomon received was tax. And today, you cannot buy or sell, or in a majority of countries, without paying something known as value-added tax. And I think in other countries, they've got something else called GM, I don't know what their thing's called. But basically, every single transaction that you do, the government takes a percentage of that value in the form of tax. So in Revelations, it's saying that without this mark, you cannot buy or sell. And what we're seeing in Chronicles is it's talking about the weight of gold that Solomon received. Now, Solomon was the government of Israel back in the day, and he received 666 talents in tax. We know today that you cannot buy or sell unless you pay your tax. So 666 is simply referring to tax. And if you're not convinced, we can quickly just see what the definition of tax is. Okay, this is straight from a Google search thing, definition of tax. It says tax is a compulsory, remember it's going to force all people, compulsory contribution to state revenue levied by the government on workers' income and business profits, or added to the cost of some goods, services, and transactions. Remember, they cannot buy or sell without this mark. Here we see it's business profits, it's forcing all people, whether you're rich or poor, you pay your taxes. Now, do we have to be worried about this just yet? And I'm going to say no, because at the moment, while the majority of us are paying tax, not everyone in the world is paying tax. So it's not a sign of the end times yet, and we can relax for the time being. When we do need to start panicking is when this happens. When money becomes digitalized. Then we've got a pretty serious end time warning coming on, because as soon as money becomes digitalized, it becomes very easy for the government to tax. If money is going through a banking system and everything's being regulated, monitored, and checked up on, it's going to be very easy for the government to take their tax. Today, it is a little bit difficult. A lot of people or a lot of merchants will say, hey, rather pay me in cash rather than credit, because when you pay with your credit card, they have to pay the tax. When you pay them in cash, they could, be wrong and skip paying their tax. So until the world goes completely digital with its currency, we don't have to worry about the end times just yet. So yeah, 666, it refers to tax. It's not referring to tattoos or those little computer chips people are going to put in their hands or any of that other nonsense. So relax, don't worry about getting that. Just be aware that it's a symbol for the end times, and there's nothing evil in the number itself. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'm going to be throwing up some more biblical discussions. Let me know what topic you want me to talk about next. Cheers.